Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here tonight. If you are coming to learn a little bit more about the UOnline at University of Masters of Public Administration, you are in the right spot. So tonight we're just going to talk a little bit about public service leadership, and I will be your host. So next slide, please, Oren. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Shelby Hoffman, and I am the Executive Director of Enrollment Management and Student Success. Very excited to be here with you guys tonight to tell you a little bit about UOnline. You're going to hear directly from faculty and a program director. You are going to hear from alumni, and then we will talk a little bit about the resources that you'll have as a student, and then how you apply. With that being said, too, we have Danny Hernandez, who is going to be helping with chat. So if you have any questions, you can chat Danny and Danny will help. This information session is going to be about 45 minutes in length. Unless we have too much fun, then we gotta reel ourselves in a little bit. And we are going to have a recording. So afterwards, your enrollment coach will be sending you this out, and you can watch this, you can share this with your friends, but there will be a recording as well. Our host, Danny, will be answering any questions that you have. At the very end, we will have a Q&A. So please type your questions at any time so you don't forget them, and then we'll get to them at the end. Next slide, please, Oren. Okay, so a little bit about the program at a glance. And, this is a slide. We're going to dive deeper into the outcomes and, what you'll learn, and a little bit more of the curriculum with our Q&A and our panel session. But the program is 12 courses long. Right now, they are 15 weeks per course, and you will complete this program in 2 years. We are SACS accredited, and one amazing thing about this program is the GMAT and GRE are not required. So, this is an amazing way for us to, reach students all across the nation. So we're not just here in University of Miami, we are bringing our curriculum online into a virtual classroom, and you will be able to learn directly from faculty. Okay, so our faculty and alumni panelists tonight, you'll see us on camera. I will let everyone introduce themselves, but I will let you know we have Dr. Callie Curley with us here. We have Dr. Stephanie Thomas with us here. We have Roxana and William with us here tonight as well. So with that said, we'll go around the horn. Callie, would you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you?
Sure. Hi, everybody. My name is Callie Curley. I have a PhD in public administration and policy from Florida State University. Don't hate me. Went to Indiana University, Purdue University, Indianapolis in the O'Neill School of Public and Environmental Affairs, where I was a faculty member for 6 or so years, 5, I don't know anymore. It's been too long. And then I transitioned here to the University of Miami, which is about, 20 minutes from my hometown. So back where I started. So roots in Miami, return to Miami. It's been great. I serve as the Director of Graduate Studies for our in-person and online MPA and MPP programs, and I've been in this role now. This is the start of my 3rd year, believe it or not. My research and sort of emphasis is on sort of collaborative governance, public policy design, and so you'll see me a lot if you come and join the program.
Dr. Thomas, do you want to introduce yourself next?
Yes, good evening. Thank you, Shelby. My name is Stephanie Thomas. I am born and raised here in Miami. Parents are from Haiti. I received my doctorate degree at Eastern Virginia Medical School. My passion is in healthcare, but my day job is in government, and I'm the deputy city clerk for the city of North Miami. Also, our city elected clerk, it's every 4 years there's an election, so I'm the supervisor of election then, and it's been an exciting time working for the city. I'm going on 24 years, and I'm almost ready to retire. So I'm here to answer any questions, and I'm happy to be online with you all.
Roxana, do you want to go next?
Sure. Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Roxana Lemus. I'm currently the human trafficking victim advocate for the Office of the Attorney General, and I also work alongside with the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. And I definitely say, I've been in my background, I've been in law enforcement, I worked in nonprofits, and I've been a little bit of everywhere. But since I'm excited to be here for many reasons, but I'm excited to be here because ever since I graduated from University of Miami alongside with William, there's been a lot of opportunities that have stemmed from that. And not only the job opportunities, right, but also the growth that stems out of like the internal growth, the professional growth, just overall. So happy to be here and excited to share all my wonderful experiences.
Wonderful. We are excited. So I have a list of questions that I am going to go through.
William.
William. I'm sorry, William.
Oh no, no, no,
William,
no problem.
got ex
Thank you. Hi, everybody. My name is William Andrews. Shout out to class of 2023. Hey, Roxana. I am a departmental technician. That's the politically correct term, but I'm IT for the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. I've been working for the state of Michigan now for 8 years. I am born and raised here in Detroit, Michigan. I am an alumni of the University of Miami. I received my master's in public administration in 2023. Again, graduated with Roxana. So I'm here to answer any questions or and give any, just my experience at Miami. And similar to what Roxana was saying, being a graduate from the U has just really opened tremendous doors. Even here in Michigan, it's been tremendous for me. So look forward to speaking and getting to know everyone.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. I am obviously pretty eager to get these questions going. So I have a list of questions. I may go a little off script. I'll try to make sure that we get a lot of program director and alumni questions. So my first question is for Dr. Curley. Can you tell us a little bit more about your role in graduate student studies and the director? A little bit about the classes you teach and how you interact with Masters of Public Administration students.
Oh man, there's a lot embedded in that question. So let me try to hit the high levels. In my role as director, I kind of oversee curriculum, advising, not necessarily for UOnline because you guys have special dedicated advisors, but for our in-person students. If you've got career questions, you always can come to me. I'm pretty good at those things. Or I'll send you to Dr. McIntyre, who's our assistant director, who's not able to be here tonight. Dr. Mack is awesome. You would get to know her pretty well because she teaches a number of different classes. The courses that I am teaching in the new online curriculum, which may surprise our particularly recent graduates, are things like policy process, government and business, which is really an sort of a new take on how do we collaborate and contract between private and public sector partners, including nonprofits. And then I am also taking on our capstone experience, which is a new one, and that is in public program evaluation. And so you'll be working largely with the organization you're currently working or volunteering or insert other idea here where you want to work with them to put together an evaluation plan that you can have as a deliverable once you leave and can then go implement at your place of employment. Kind of like a way to transition you from the sort of theoretical practice that we do in our classes into actual practice with your MPA degree. So that's a little bit about what I teach, a little bit about the program. Shelby, please tell me if I'm missing something.
A little bit about the proton role. And you know what? I don't know if you wanted to hit anything about your role as director of graduate student studies.
Oh, so that's kind of the oversee the curriculum thing. It's kind of, strategically place our program, make sure that we've got partners in the community, that we are sort of shored up in that way. We are building out an alumni advisory panel, which is new news, I believe, because I haven't formally asked the three people sitting on this call to be part of it yet, even though they should know that's coming. And, if you are stellar, then you get to continue being involved, and we love it when you do. So,
Wonderful. Well, that goes into my next question for the stellar alumni that we have here. Please feel free to come out off mute, share your time, share your answers. But most of the individuals applying to this program are busy professionals. So, what are some of the advantages of completing this program online? And how did your faculty make themselves accessible for questions and discussions and support during your time here? Go.
So I am so happy to hear this program is still surviving. I graduated in 2018 and it has definitely evolved into more, academia processes, which I'm really happy about. And of course, Dr. Callie, I'll be happy to be on the panel. Uh, this program has, oh my gosh, made a remarkable impact in my life. I'm usually the traditional type student, like sitting in the class and they call me geek or, whatever. But I didn't think I would embrace the online part of this, but I immediately embraced it because of my life, right? So life happened. My late husband became ill. My kids were in high school. I had a full-time job, so I had to learn how to balance life. And this was the perfect way of me coming into this program to obtain my master's degree at UM. Never thought I would go to UM. Always wanted to go to UM. I took the chance of applying, and I did, and I was accepted, and I was so grateful. And it has catapulted me to the point where I now have my doctorate degree. So it has definitely prepared me in most ways than I ever even imagined. So I'm grateful.
And I agree. I mean, UM is such a wonderful school, and I will say that forever and always, right? Because for me personally, what really attracted me, other than, I mean, I've always wanted to go to UM. I remember touring the school when I was 17 years old and thinking, this is such a great fit, but I don't know if I'm like smart enough at the time to pursue it. And it's funny how it just there's little signs that I think I kept seeing for me to come back. And but for me, it was a lot of the flexibility as well, because I was working at the sheriff's office at the time. I had an on-call schedule, so my hours were just a little bit a little bit everywhere. But also it was nice that I didn't have to take the GRE or any other standardized testing. It was really nice when I applied to the school and I was treated like a human being, like a student. Like they wanted to get to know me, and even when I submitted my initial essay for admission, they sent it right back and said, "You have this is great. Let's tweak this over here." And I thought that was so phenomenal. And at that moment, I said, I'm in great hands. And luckily, I mean, the professors throughout the whole entire journey were the same. So, and it was great because the professors were so personable and they really wanted us to get to know each other, whether with this through discussion boards, through the videos. That was really nice to the point where personally, I mean, I lived in Pasco County at the time, and I remember it was so interactive that when I would go outside my front door, I said, "Oh, I'm not in Miami. I keep forgetting." So, but that was just my experience. But yeah.
I will say from my experience, one of the interesting thing is because I'm not from Florida, being in Detroit, Michigan, I've always wanted to attend Miami. Growing up here, I grew up around Michigan Wolverines, Michigan State Spartans, and the Hurricanes was always one of my love. So being going online was the access for me to Miami. My wife, nothing against Florida, she made it clear we were not moving to Florida. So the being on attending the U virtually was truly a godsend for me. I really enjoyed it. And I want to make it clear, to anyone that has any, feelings of the indifference, virtual learning is just as rigorous as in person. And as a matter of fact, one of the things that I've loved about virtual learning is it requires time management. It requires attention to detail. It requires a few more things than in-person learning that you don't get. So it really helped me sharp not only, academically, but also in work-life balance, similar to uh, what Dr. Thomas and Roxana was saying, about just maintaining that work-life balance. So it's been a pleasure. It's been an honor, and again, I wouldn't take anything from it. And to add to that, like I said, that just to eliminate that whole notion about virtual learning is easier because it's more absolutely not. It is the same Miami, virtual or in person.
Wonderful. Thank you, everyone. With that being said, William, you kind of guided me into my next question. So maybe we'll start with you again, if that's okay. Um, how is this curriculum designed to help students in real world scenarios?
It's designed because it makes you understand the importance of making decisions and decision making as far as understanding what works best for you. To give you a prime example, in our first semester, Roxanne and I, we started in the fall of 2021. Our last class was with the late great Dr. Jonathan West, one of the former director of the program. And it was funny because at the end of the class, I had reached a challenge at my position. I had just got a new position with the state, and it just wasn't working, and it was hard to juggle both. So I had an option where I had to come up. I gave myself those decisions. Do I choose school? Do I try to stick it out with the new job? Do I go to my old position and stick it out with grad school? And I worked too hard to get to Miami, so I decided to go back to that old position I had because it was familiar to me and it served me well because I was able to focus on my time in Miami. That's one of the things that out the gate I got from this program was the importance of decision making, was the important and learning how decision making even in government. That's one of the many things that goes on through the course and through the program, understanding the different concepts and definitions and how those different things can be implemented to decision making in government. So it's definitely helped me in my own profession, and I know for a fact it will help you future students as well.
Roxana or Dr. Thomas, do you want to add anything to that?
Yes,
And again, the question was, how did this curriculum help you prepare for real world scenarios?
so I really agree with William. Like I said, I've been with the government for 24 years. You have the skills, you're learning from others, but it's nothing like the book knowledge to bring those practical practices in your organization so that you can improve processes and be innovative, right? So one of the things I struggle with was the budget. How do I really understand the budget to really, you know, and intellectually explain it to our constituents if I don't understand what the budget is and how to explain what it is and how a budget is put together. So having these classes really help bring all the perspectives together so I can understand it better and have a one-on-one with the budget director, the assistant budget director, so that they can help me understand those processes and forecast things that has to do in my department. And another thing, it also cultivated me to actually have an opportunity to sit at the table when it comes to decision making, So the courses have definitely been helpful and very impactful in my career, I believe, in what I've learned through being in the courses with UM.
And I agree
And
with everyone, what they said. I agree with
I,
everyone. I mean, for me personally, it just I think it just for me personally, it really helped me have a little bit more empathy, I think, with the system overall, and to be able to kind of tackle like the red tape of like, okay, just kind of thinking a little differently. Or when you do have like employees under you, or when you do have volunteers, you're able to have an understanding of like what are their eccentric and eccentric needs are, what are their, and just have a better understanding. But I really think it really what helped shaped all of it was the wealth of knowledge that these professors have. And because they're amazing of you can they were so great about you just even being so open about any of your experiences. And it was great for everyone to kind of tackle them together. And even the background from the students when they would share, hey, this is what I'm doing. It's we may be everywhere, but we're all so similar in certain things. So I think that was really nice to kind of learn from each other.
Yes, I agree. Hmm.
Thank you for sharing those stories. My next question is going to go back to Dr. Curley, but please feel free to jump in if you would like to help. Dr. Curley, can you talk about any applied learning projects or opportunities that the students connect in the classroom or any practical hands-on experiences they'll get in this curriculum?
So I mentioned the one example of the program evaluation, developing kind of the evaluation plan so that it's ready to go and implement in wherever you're working. Other examples of this are going to be simulations that we're doing in our new classes. And so, for example, in policy process and collaborative governance, I know that what I do is kind of force you guys to design a collaborative plan, right? Like, here's a problem. Who are you targeting and how are you working together? What roles are you taking on? What resources do you need? And just trying to help students recognize in the community what types of networks they can form and how they can leverage resources within their organization to help solve problems. In policy process, it's really about going through that planning stage of designing a policy. And we're taking on this semester the case that we've kind of been focusing on is homelessness, although we always encourage students that they can pick whatever whatever policy issues they want. It might be more work, but it's certainly worthwhile. And so a lot of the students this semester are kind of walking through this case of homelessness, and they're trying to identify what the right appropriate policy solutions are in very sort of sensitive, challengingly framed policy issues. And so the idea is that we're helping to build negotiation and conflict resolution skills by forcing you to work in groups and solve the problem together despite different roles and various viewpoints that you have to kind of settle into. And so I know other faculty members are doing cases where they're, solving budget issues for a city that were previously unmanaged or in debt, for instance. And so they're trying to identify solutions and paths forward for these things. I know in my classes, for instance, we do reflections. And so I ask you to take a concept that you've learned from this class this week and apply it in your real life to your experiences. And so we're always looking for ways to connect what it is that we're talking about from a textbook into the real world in a way that's skill building.
And uses critical thinking, so I love it.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Good. Thank you. Okay, so I'm bouncing around questions here. This one's kind of for everyone. I think it's going to be best answered by alumni, but everyone can jump in. The University of Miami has a far-reaching alumni network and connections to top government institutions and around the states and the world. So how does this online program, how did it help you all leverage your connections and build a successful career? Andrew, I see your big smile. Do you want to start off?
Sure, sure. It goes back to honestly, Shelby, what you said at the beginning about just the when you see the name Miami, when you see it on the resume, when it's spoken about, when I mention it, or if somebody comes into my room and they see this degree on the wall, they understand what comes with that. They understand the respect, the reputation. They understand and appreciate the rigorous academics that comes with obtaining, such a degree. And when you transform that into the real world, the respect transitions from the school to the workplace. When you have someone that comes from Miami in your group, your on your team, in your department, you have someone that is ready to roll up their sleeves and go to work. You have someone that is ready to be a team player as well as a leader. You have someone that is willing, ready to do what that has to be done. And one of the things I loved about this program is, as Dr. Curley said earlier, and even Roxana, all of the professors are warm, they're kind-hearted, and they're available, but they're rigorous and firm. It is this level of standards here at Miami that is expected, but also is grown. It's not, you're not into the program and you're expected to just deliver Miami out the gate. You're walked into it with bringing everything you bring to the table. And so that's one of the biggest things. When they see that name, they respect that name because they respect what comes with it. So your name with Miami's name, it's hard to beat that. And I do apologize for my dog in the background, Blossom. She heard something outside, so she's just letting me know she's on guard.
Aw, well, we cannot hear them, but I'm sure a lot of us like dogs, so you're just fine.
Oh, no, but William, you said it so perfectly, right? How do you follow up with that? But it was perfect. I mean, I could definitely say, once I graduated from UM, I'll never forget it. When I applied to the Attorney General's office, I remember that my supervisor at the time, she uh she looked at my resume, she's like, "You graduated from University of Miami." I said, "Yes, yes, ma'am, I did." And because it was such prestige, but the very similar to what William said. I mean, everything, the tools that you're taught within the program, you kind of form like a routine, like a discipline, right? And it just follows you everywhere you go. And not only the tools that it was provided to you, but for me personally, really, I'm not trying to get emotional. Really, um, gave me the confidence that I think I lost at some point that I really needed back, but 10 times as strong. Like, I can say like actual hurricane, right? I mean, I remember going into this program kind of, confident in a way, but kind of meek. I'm like, can I do this? And from all the job changes, that was really rough for me. And confidence kind of went down, and towards the end, because of my peers and the professors and everything that I've learned, I mean, right at the end I was the commencement speaker, which was a great honor. And then from there I was like I remember telling my professor at the time, Dr. Marsha Beck, I said, I'm like, I've always wanted to apply to the Attorney General's office. I don't know. That seems like maybe like someone else. And she's like, no, just you have to go for it, Roxanne. Remember that confidence, that confidence, that confidence. And I ended up getting the job. And again, it was just that confidence. And the great thing about the alumni is that we're everywhere. We're everywhere. And that support, no matter where you are, it's going to follow. You have community everywhere you go. And I think that is so powerful compared to a lot of other schools. They may be great, but I can definitely say again, that community is one of a kind.
I have to agree with my alumni. Being part of UM has definitely helped me in my career path. Once they see the U, it's you know there's nothing to say. You're from the University of Miami, and it's understood. I have grown my network in a way that even on LinkedIn, whenever I see a UM symbol and it's an alumni, I tag them or they tag me, and I've met individuals outside of my workspace that are UM alums. I also on this platform since 2018, since I graduated. I've been doing this online with our students and coming students. So it's been an honor being part of the program, being part of the University of Miami. And I also participate in, since I'm in Miami, I'm sorry, Roxanne and William. I do go to games and I do participate in the social mixers and things like that. So I do expand my platform when I do that. So it has definitely been helpful and also uh, grateful for it. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Can
Wonderful.
I add before we move on?
I'd love to.
I'll be a little bit of a data geek really quickly about our alum. Across our three programs, we have over 500 alumni. I think it's like 519 alumni from the University of Miami who have a master's in public administration, whether they graduated in person or online. They sit globally. I believe it's 14 countries between the US, Australia, the EU, um, Asia. We have alumni everywhere globally. And that's our program alone, not speaking to the U's large scale alumni, right? We have alumni across 36 states in the US, as well as many in DC. They also are in Puerto Rico, so some US affiliates there. And then just to give you a range, we have alumni who are high-level employees within HUD. We have special agents in the FBI. We have people who are city managers or were city managers. Elected officials are on the roster as well. And so when you join the U, your alumni network isn't just a small cohort of people with narrow focus, right? We're not just talking about people in local government. We're talking about people throughout the range, right? Individuals who maybe have a medical degree, right? Or who are lawyers also by trade. And so the range, I think, is one of the most impressive things about our alumni. And because of that range, we teach a little bit of everything and you learn a whole lot of everything, but you develop a very large skill set that supports you and is a transferable regardless of what path you go down. And so for me, that's kind of one of the most powerful things about our alumni is that there's somebody working in pretty much every space somewhere out there. And we can always try and connect you to people if they've got your dream job and you want in. So that's all I had to add.
Love that. Thank you for adding that, Dr. Curley. We actually have a question from the panelists that I am going to ask. Thank you for sharing, Danny. And Tim, thank you for asking your question tonight. So Tim is in a MPA program now and looking to transfer to UM. UM is one of the schools that he is looking at. What sets this program apart from others?
I can go on this one. This program here, how can I put this? I don't want to scare anyone. This program is really designed to for you to thrive as well as really learn what you're truly built, what you're made of, because it requires the attention, it requires the reading, the camaraderie with your classmates, your professor. You'll get into and no disrespect to any other universities, but University of Miami has the reputation it has for a reason. It has the respect it has for a reason, the accolades, all of the alumni in the range that Dr. Curley just spoke on. This program here being, the what sets Miami aside is the attention to detail, is that extra attention in the classrooms, be it the classes dealing with HR or the classes where you're learning budget or statistics. Every little attention to detail is what makes Miami stand out. They're not looking to be passive. They're not looking to just graduate you like this is some factory where they're keeping up stats. No, they care about each and every student because before they give you a piece of paper with their name and your name attached to it, they're going to make sure that you have met the standards at the University of Miami.
Yeah. And also the professors. I will always say
Just gonna
that the
say that.
professor, yep. Me and Dr. Thomas knew what we're talking about, the
Yeah.
professors, because I always will give credit, if it wasn't for God and my support system, right? I don't know if I would have graduated, but the professors, they are again a wealth of knowledge, but it's not just that. It's not just, okay, we're here to teach a course, here you go, but it's that extra length that they go for their students. I mean, we had professors like do a videos on YouTube just to make sure that we understood like the material. And not only that, but they understand that we are working professionals. Life happens, right? And they wanted to get to know us, and if something happened in life, they were able to, to work something out, or, that communication, but they were actually there for you. I mean, I can tell you this, Dr. Curley is wonderful, because I remember when I was going through a job change and it was very, very difficult for me. And I remember scheduling a meeting and she was so quick to respond. And I remember I remember exactly where I was sitting in my home, and I was bawling my eyes out, but she didn't interrupt. She just let me go through my feelings and my emotions. And at that moment, there was a judgment-free zone all around. And it's just, for me, it's just that the quality, just overall, the heart that these professors have.
I completely agree. The professors have been immaculate in helping us throughout, our studies. They're very personable. Please, tap into your professors. They're your friends. They will help you and guide you. I mean, look at me. I graduated in the first cohort from 2018, and I'm still here talking about it. So that's how impactful it was for me and for other students. Um, the other thing, the technology, right? The resources that they provide. The library resources are amazing. Everything is online. My friend throughout my 2 years in the program was my computer. I went everywhere with it. I did everything I needed to do with it. All my resources from the library was there for me every step of the way. IT was there during the weekends when I had issues. So anything you needed was accessible. They make it so accessible to you that you wouldn't have any issues. But if you do, there's always someone that's there to help you through the process. So, I mean, and then of course, if you like life happens, right? Your professors are there to help you through the process. If you need to take a day or two more to turn in your assignment, that's something you can talk, have a discussion with your professors. They're accessible. The technology is there for you. Anything that you need online, it's available to all the students. And if you need something else, you can always, make a recommendations. They're here to listen to you and hear you out.
It always touches my heart to hear you guys talk about our program. Um, Tim, I think this is an amazing question, and I just want to say thanks for asking it, because it challenges even me sometimes to think about this, right? Like, what makes us stand out? Why are we unique? And yes, the U is a huge, huge part of what makes us unique, right? We are an R1. We are a research-driven group of faculty who are honestly rock stars, right? Like, I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I'll toot the horn of all of my fellow colleagues. They're awesome. And not just on a personal level, but like from a research perspective, they're studying and doing really cool things. So their expertise translates across these classes. Their depth and wealth of knowledge is fantastic. But most of those things you can kind of get anywhere. What you can't get everywhere is us, right? Like the specific, unique people factor, and the fact that we have smaller cohorts, honestly, which I love in an online environment, because if there are too many people in an online environment, sometimes it can be hard to really get to know everyone. Our courses are structured on 15 weeks, so it follows the more traditional semester scale now, which is new, but also provides you with more opportunities to get to know your faculty, because you're not rushed in 7 weeks. You've got a whole 15 weeks to develop and create and establish that relationship. And I think what Roxana said is really important, because there is not one faculty member in our MPA MPP team that I could point to and say, they're not good. There's not one, because honestly, every single one of those faculty will work more and harder for their students than most faculty. I should probably not say the rest of that sentence out loud. Never mind. But I think you get my drift, okay? Every one of us cares, and every one of us understands that there is what is called work-life balance, and that as we juggle these things, life happens, right? I mean, I was a student once and I had life happen, and I can tell you the faculty that were actually supportive are some of the faculty that motivated me to be my best and to do my best work. And the ones who held the line and told me you can't, you won't, you aren't, um, they did more damage than people realize. And so I just want to encourage you, whether it's, and don't kill me for saying this out loud, Shelby, but whether it's our program or another program, as you're making this decision about where you want to go, look at who the faculty are and identify if they are a group of people who are going to be supportive of you, not just as you, the professional, you, the student, but like you as a person. Okay. Doesn't have to be here, but wherever you look, pay attention to that. Okay. All right.
Okay, we can go into some of other questions too, but I do have another question from Tim Atkins, the same student who asked the previous question, and I don't know the answer to this, so maybe are we NASPAA accredited?
We used to be NASPA members, and then sorry to bring this up, but John West passed away, and they never, well, they sent a message to Dr. West's email address that never got forwarded to who was the director at the time. And so we have been working on collecting the data that we need to become NASPA accredited, and to seek NASPA member status again. And so we are not, but we just went through a massive overhaul of our curriculum to become aligned with NASPA requirements so that we can get it. Accreditation, that is, with NASPA. And I know we're SACSOC accredited, so we go through the same sort of standard evaluation and assessment practices that we do annually to demonstrate growth and commitment to public service values.
Thank you. I'm going to ask one last question and then we're going to proceed on with our PowerPoint. And my last question is, we have a lot of students incoming asking about outcomes and what this Master's in Public Administration degree will do for their job and their current job market. So just in a general arena, can you guys talk a little bit about the job market in your industry and some of the career outcomes these students will have available to them?
I'll say a few things.
Okay.
So the job market in government and even nonprofit organization is expensive. It's just a matter of knowing what your niche is and where you want to land. And also networking is important, right? I sit on various boards and committees, and sometimes I hear different opportunities and I share it with my peers. So it's having your ears to the ground, your feet on the ground to know what you really want to actually go for the career that you really want to go into and the path that you want to go into. So the market is there, I would say. I'm not sure with the federal government now, with everything happening, but opportunities are there.
I mean, I can, oh, William, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. I can say similar to Dr. Thomas, the job market even here in Michigan for the state of Michigan is it's very, it's very large. And one of the interesting things is, when you obtain a degree from Miami, it puts you what I consider like into a different tier. Like, of course, you have, entry level positions and you have all these different positions, especially in government. But one of the things that I will say about, since I've obtained my degree is it's given me not only these doors to also managerial positions, but also upper management positions. It's also given me that confidence to apply to those positions. I can say personally, and I don't want to take this any wrong way. I'm proud of, my bachelor's degree as well from Oakland University here in Michigan. But one of the things I noticed is, when I did receive my master's and when I started to continue on my career with the state, was that sense of confidence I got to apply to positions that I maybe just didn't feel I had the skills for before, or I maybe feel I didn't have the tools to necessarily apply to. to me, I treat my master's and everything I got from Miami is like a superhero cape. It gives me that power and that strength to really, put my name out there, put my resume out there, and to really take advantage of those positions that are sometimes just looking for that right person. And again, one of the many things I love is that Miami gave me that confidence, to go for those positions because they are out there. Similar to what Dr. Thomas was saying, given just everything going on, it could be interesting depending on where you go, but even at the local level, or even if you do decide to go federal level, it's hard to not understand how this has impacted that. And I truly am in awe of it still sometimes myself. So I will say that, having that degree and having that connection to even the Miami alumni itself expands, your networking and your job search and possibly just being available.
Everyone said it so beautifully.
Yeah. Roxana, feel free to add anything you would like.
No, I mean, Dr. Thomas and William, they said everything so perfectly in a nutshell. I mean, the network is there, and again, like circling back to our professors, our professors, they get to know us, right? They get to know us, and which is great. And they see our potential, I think, right from the get-go, sometimes before we actually see it ourselves, right? Till the end, maybe. Um, and it's great when a professor is like, hey, there's this opportunity that's over here. I was thinking about you, and it's like, oh wow, like I would have never thought about that. But the classes, especially when you're going in, you expand so much knowledge that you're like, oh wow, I can maybe you be set on this track, and then later you find out, oh, maybe I can try this track. So, and I think that's the beautiful thing. But again, having our alumni network, right? It's able to connect with others and being able to use those connections, right? To be able to immerse yourself within the job force. And because I can tell you, especially like, okay, well, it's like sometimes it's who you know, right? So use it, use it, use it for your advantage.
And if you don't mind, Shelby, before we move on, just to add very quickly, we know that right now there have been a lot of changes at the federal level in terms of employment. But what I have seen in our alumni is that they're not just working at the federal government, and they're not even just working in the public sector. They're working from local to regional to state to nonprofits to private programs to running foundations, right? The whole range is there for what you want to do. Like I mentioned earlier, the skills for this degree program are transferable regardless of where you're really working. And that's kind of the beauty of the degree.
Perfect. Okay, so now we got to go back into the boring stuff of just everything about the program and the applying to the program. But I just want to say something. Dr. Thomas, Roxana, and William, you guys are so proud of the you, but we are so proud of you. So thank you for being here tonight, and thank you for going into the world and just representing the you and continuing to grow your lives and your career. It's awesome to see that. So thank you for being here. Okay, so a little bit about resources and connectivity, and then I'm going to talk about the application itself. So, everyone has spoken a little bit about how you feel like a student, even though you're in Denver or Michigan or from anywhere in the nation. And we like to make sure that our students have the resources to be connected and to be successful. So we have the Topple Career Center. Your career journey begins here tonight. And it will continue as you go through the courses and go through the classes and then become an alumni yourself. So Topple Career Center is here for you to get one-on-one career coaching, resume reviews, interview prep, and even access to different virtual job careers that we help organize and facilitate on campus and online. We have disability services to ensure accessibility for all. And we have Launchpad. So Launchpad is empowering innovation and entrepreneurship, excuse me. And so this is an incubator space where a lot of students come together and share their business ideas and find mentors and launch new businesses. And it's right here from your laptop, like Dr. Thomas said. Like all of this is accessible right from your laptop. We have the Graduate Student Association, the GSA. This is connecting graduate students across other disciplines, not just MPA, the business school, the engineering school, Frost School of Music, everywhere, so that alumni can not only connect in the space that you decide to proceed, but each other across, different areas as well. We do have an amazing online library and access to world-class academic resources. Dr. Curley said we are our one institution that does set us apart. We have a lot of research topics where you can look and grab information from the UOnline library. And then there's just so much more. We're a Canes community. I'm embarrassed to say, but I'm going to my first Canes football game on Friday night. It's my first one ever, never been, but I'm really excited to just embrace the community, embrace my colleagues, and embrace the alumni. So we really like to make sure that you feel like you're part of you're part of the school, no matter where you are in the nation. Okay, so what do you need to apply? We are really eager to help you guys apply. Your enrollment coaches will be reaching out tomorrow and helping you with your application. So Danny, if you could link the application into the chat, that would be awesome. But some of the things you need to apply is your official transcripts. So we need your official transcripts from any previously attended institution. We will need your current resume that highlights, your professional experience, your educational background, and relevant skills or certificates you may have. You'll need that personal statement. I know Roxana was talking about her personal statement at the very beginning, but your personal statement is your opportunity to tell your story and why you're pursuing this degree, your goals, what makes you a great fit for our UOnline community, and what are you got to add to our community. I like to tell the students that I interact with that this is your mini interview, to our program directors and the admissions team that's looking of who you are. We want to know who you are and why you want to, change the world with this degree. We also require 2 letters recommendation. These need to ideally be from a supervisor, a professor, or colleagues who can, help speak of your qualities, your work ethic, your potential success in this program. And then you'll need, we do accept federal student aid. So, you'll get assigned a federal student aid individual to help you with your FAFSA, getting that application in. That application's a little longer than ours, so I definitely recommend if you're using federal student aid to start filling that out as you're filling out this application, and then submit. Submit your application. But if Oren goes to the next slide, please. I think it's the next slide. Oh, okay. So our early admissions deadline is Monday, November 3rd. We do operate on an enrolling admissions. We are making decisions now actively. So please get your application in. If you apply for attending this webinar tonight, we are going to waive your application fee. So we will make sure that that is waived for you. So $50, if you're here this evening, please do not submit that. We are going to waive that for you as a thank you for being here and spending an hour with us to get to know us better. So thank you. Highly encourage getting that application in by Monday, November 3rd. And, please start your application. If you need to chat with an enrollment advisor, please do. Please reach out. This is our number. My name is Shelby Hoffman, and I'm the Executive Director of Enrollment and Student Success. So please find me, and I'm happy to help you in any way as well. So with that being said, I think we're finished for the evening. So thank you, everyone, Dr. Curley, the alumni, and everyone here for just taking the time to spend an hour with us tonight. Bye. Have a good day.